Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of SAP Tech Byte series on RESTful Application Programming Model or RAP. So, before we jump into today's topic, I hope all of you might have gone through and made use of the RAP generator wizard, which helps to create the end to end artifacts for your RAP service based on an existing repository object, say a database table, a CDS view entity, or a behavior definition. I will add the link to that video in the description box for whoever is yet to watch. So today we are going to see the OData UI service from scratch wizard that allows you to create a wrap PO without the requirement of an already existing artifact and without having to manually create all the necessary repository objects yourself. And this means you can start the wizard from an empty package and the end result is a full blown wrap UI service. The wizard can be run with or without the help of Joule chat, but for today's demo, we are going to see the option without Joule chat. So let's get into the system to see a quick demo. So for the purpose of the demo, I have created a package in my system. Let us right click on the package and choose Generate ABAP Repository Objects. So a dialog box opens with some menu options. I'm going to select OData UI Service from scratch and click on Next. Click next again, and now you can see that the dialog box has some settings or some values to be provided. So one of them is service type. As you can see, it is set as transactional with draft, which means a draft table will also get created along with the database table for your application. In case you do not want the draft table to be created, you can choose the option transactional without draft, or in case you would like to keep it read only, you have that option as well. So in my case, I'm going to leave it as transactional with draft. I would like to provide a suffix for all the objects that are going to get created. So I provide this value. And I'm planning to create a travel application. So I'm going to give the project name as travel app. Now moving ahead, I have business object entities, and there is an add button here which where I can provide the entity alias name. I'm going to provide it as travel. And here you can see that there is a template name option in case you have an already existing structure or a table and you would like to reuse all the fields from there or some of the fields from there. You have this option to choose that structure from the list and provide it in the template name. Now, in case you want to create a completely custom business object with some new fields, skip this option and directly go to the add. And you can see that if you are going ahead to the business object entity fields, the travel alias name that we had provided is already available. Click on add here and provide all the fields that you would like to create within your business object. So let's say travel ID is one field that I would like to create. And let's say I would like to keep the type as numeric of length 5. Click on add. So that field gets added. Let's say I would like to add one more field, description. And in this case, I would like to keep data type as character, but with length 20. So click on add. So now I have two fields in my business object. Now, this is a case when you are going to create a completely new business object with new fields. Now, in my case, I already have the travel application or travel table or structure available. So I'm going to choose the template so that you can also see the template option here. Click on back and choose the template option. So everything else remains the same. And when I'm creating the business object entity, in addition to the entity alias, I'm going to search for a structure DMO travel, which is for the flight reference scenario. Click on OK, and the template name gets updated in your uh, input box, and click on add. So now you can see that the entity alias name, whatever we had given, is updated along with the template name that we had mentioned. So this is how it looks. And now moving ahead to the business object entity fields, when you click the travel entity, you can see that all the fields that were available in the DMO travel structure is now available in our business object as well. So in case you would like to remove one or two fields from this list, you can very well do that by selecting the field and clicking on remove. In case you would like to go ahead with the same exact list of fields, then do not do anything and click on next. So it is validating the artifacts, and after that it will show the list of objects that are going to get created. So this is the list. So as you can see, it lists out or it previews all the objects that are going to get created using the wizard. So as you can see here, we have service definition, service binding. You can also see that for the projection layer and the business object layer, we have the data definition, behavior definition, access control, metadata extension. Everything is already available. And like we had selected the option transaction with draft, you can see that there is a draft table that is also getting created. So this is the entire list of objects that are getting created using the wizard. So once you have verified everything, you can click on next. And if you would like to choose a transport request, you can choose that and click on finish. So now it is creating all the artifacts or the development objects according to our requirement. So what we had just done is to just select or give the names of the fields and the data type, or let's say it was already existing. We didn't even have to do that. We just selected the structure and it copied whatever was available in the structure. And based on that, it is creating all the development objects that are required for your application. So like this, you will get a message that all the objects have got created and would you like to open it? So select the option open to see all the objects that were updated to your package. So you can see the package got updated with 15 objects inside it. So if you click and see, you can see all the objects that were created by the wizard. So let's say the business services, the service bindings, the service definitions. So if you open the core data services folder, you can see that the behavior definition, metadata extension, data definition, everything has got created and are available in this particular package that you had provided. So what we had provided here is that we just provided the service type, we just selected or created the fields that were required for your business object. We provided the project name or maybe the alias name for the application, and that's it. So an entirely new application got created with the help of the wizard, and it just took few seconds. So this is how you can create a completely new application using the wizard without manually doing each step one by one. And in case you would like to preview this application, just go to the service binding and you can see that it's an OData V4 service that has got created. Click on publish and the application gets published and it will be ready for preview. So you can see that the app has got published. Just double click on the entity name and the app opens for your preview, and you can see that whichever fields you had selected or created while running the wizard, they are all available, and you will now be able to create new entries using this app. You can easily add more entities or other features like value helps or search options in your application. You can also extend the behavior by adding logics using determination, validations, etc. Please note that all objects are activated automatically and exposed as a OData V4 UI service. So to summarize, the generation wizard creates the business objects from scratch. The data model in the CDS view entities uses all fields that are defined in the database table and adds relevant CDS annotations. The wizard also creates a metadata extension object for UI scenarios with @UI annotations. It creates a manage wrap BO and defines the standard operations and the draft actions and uses manage internal early numbering. So in general, the generated business object is editable and usable in the same way as a manually developed business object. I hope all of you enjoyed this episode on OData UI from scratch visit. Please do try it out and let us know your feedback in the comments. We'll be back very soon with another exciting episode of SAP Tech Files. Till then, take care.